Well, good afternoon and welcome to the KPEG Game of the Week. Today, we wrap up rivalry week as Cabrillo Conquistador Baseball hosts the Lompoc Braves. This is Greg Ratcliffe broadcasting live from Don McIntyre Field at Cabrillo High School, where the 3-9 Conks get ready to take on the 7-6 Braves. Lompoc takes the field today, having won 4 straight, knocking off San Ynez once and San Marcos twice, before defeating Cabrillo 4-0 on Tuesday. In the other dugout, the Cogs have lost their last 3, dropping 2 to Dos Pueblos before the loss to the Braves earlier this week. So as Lompoc won the first 2 meetings between these teams, the Cogs look to avoid the season sweep today, while the Braves need to win to keep pace with Santa Barbara in the battle for a Channel League title. Back in the chair to my right after a brief absence on Tuesday is the Statmeister himself, Mike Loney. Mike, welcome back. The Braves have had Cabrillo's number so far this season, getting shutout wins in both of the previous meetings. What did the Conks have to do to get a win here today?
Well, I don't know that it would definitely guarantee a win, but it would certainly help their opportunities. Because they did something that they didn't do in the first 2 games. Actually, 2 things. Generate some offense, and second, not commit errors. In the first game, they committed 4. In the second game, they committed 3.
Well, we are just underway here at McIntyre Field, and all of a sudden the Braves quickly 2 up and 2 down. A grounder over to first base, retired Steven Espinoza. Then a little blooper over to third was fielded and thrown to first to retire Ramirez for 2 down. And that brings us to Oscar Rojas, batting in the 3 spot today.
He'll be pitching today. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I am shocked.
Matthew Gonzalez on the mound for the Conquistadors. He's started half their games, and Oscar drills one into the gap between second and third. That was just snagged, and a good throw got him at first.
So a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Conquistadors defense in the first inning. 3 batters, 3 outs for the Braves, and they are retired. 1/2 inning complete, and we are scoreless from McIntyre Field with the Conquistadors coming to bat. Greg Ratcliffe here, Mike Loney to my right, Bill Dr. Draw Smith back at the studio. And this is the Game of the Week on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley.
So nice to have you back, Mikey.
Yeah.
I was lonely last week.
You had much more fun than I did. I think I can guarantee you that. We're going to have to be careful what we say about the umpires today. Frank Vince, by the way, or John Valverde behind the plate, and Mel Gadsden out in the field. We have a semi-illustrious listener.
Semi-illustrious?
So I've been informed. Named Scotty Scott was a major league umpire for, close to 3 decades, I believe. And then he worked with the local officials association for a bunch of years, and we got to sit with him in the press box at
yes, indeed we have.
On numerous occasions.
A number of times, indeed.
We were Philip Dennison. Usually he was right to my right.
So nice to have him on board listening today.
He's in a rather famous picture of him going belly to belly with Rod Carew. And I think it was either the first or one of the first games that Rod had as an Angel. And after they went belly to belly, Rod repeatedly said some stuff that had to do with bovine scatology and got tossed. One of the few times that Carew was ejected.
This is educational radio.
Yep.
Well, we welcome him to our listeners today.
This will complete the 3rd of the season league series for the Braves today. This will only complete the 3rd for Cabrillo as well. But the Braves 2-1 against San Ynez, 2-0 so far against Cabrillo, and 2-1 against San Marcos. They are 0-1 against Santa Barbara and 0-1 against DP. And guess who they play 4 times in the next couple of
yeah. You're going to be some big ones.
Santa Barbara and DP. So
So Oscar on the mound for the Braves, as Mike said. Starting things off for the Conquistadors in the batter's box is Anthony Lopez, number 14. He takes a strike. And then watches the ball, evens the count at 1 apiece. Oscar working really quickly so far. Little shallow flare over into left field, and that's going to drop for a leadoff single.
Just kind of hung up there for a bit. By the time Gavin Thomas could get up to it, hit dirt. Record that as a single. Wind aided.
That's a hit all the way. Lopez at first with nobody out here for the Conks in the first.
Throw over, and Lopez gets to eat some dirt.
Back safely, of course. And here we are with Frausto up to bat. He smacks it over in the gap between first and second. That's going to be a single.
And they'll hold the runner at second.
So back-to-back singles here for the Conks in the first, and Cabrillo looking to get things going here early.
Yeah, nobody out. Garcia up. Number 12. Returns to the correct side of the plate.
Fouled high out of play towards the parking lot.
Yeah. A tender Hunter.
Got a chance to talk with some of the crowd here pregame, and there is quite a crowd, and it's still gathering.
Yeah.
Everybody looking forward to a good afternoon of baseball today.
Nice sunny day with not too much in the clouds, a little bit very thin stuff off to the east, but
the typical breeze that you might expect up here, well, but not unmanageable.
Yeah, hasn't reached hurricane force yet.
High fly ball in foul territory.
Yeah, that was.
And it should be playable. It is. Runners will tag, and everybody's safe at second and third.
Second baseman will walk the ball back in.
So Patrick Garcia advances the runners, but records out number 1. And Matthew Gonzalez, number 13, will step up with 2 runners in scoring position, the second and third with 1 out. In the 2 previous games that these teams have played this season, Cabrillo has yet to score a run. Trying to change that here in the first inning of this game. They lost the first one 7-0 and the 4-0 game just this last Tuesday.
First pitch called the ball. Second one high.
2-0 pitch is low and away. 3 straight balls.
Rojas quickly in there, and that one is yanked down the line to foul.
Smacked foul down the third baseline. Good contact. Just a little bit early. 3 balls and a strike. Fly ball, deep right, should be playable, however. Runners will tag.
Just outside the line. And it'll be a foul, but it will be a sacrifice fly, allowing the runners to advance and a run to score.
Anthony Lopez comes across on the play. And all of a sudden, Cabrillo has scored their first run of the season against the Braves. It's now 1-0 Cabrillo.
And coming into this game, Cabrillo had, I believe, 25 hits. So they've had 2 hits in this inning and scored a run. So this is an offensive juggernaut.
An explosion.
So,
foul out of play. Up now is Mason Towns.
Yeah, and he took a ball and then nothing to change it.
And a single to the right. We'll score another run. Frausto scores from third. And it's now 2-0 Conks. Hunter Barthel up now for the Conquistadors with 2 outs. Takes one line away for ball 1. High fly ball, shallow center field. Should be playable. And it is.
Drifting over. Ways, but Morgan able to track it down.
And that will retire the Conquistadors here in the first. But they score 2 runs and 3 hits, no errors. They left 1. So after 1 complete inning here at McIntyre Field, our score is the Conquistadors 2, the Braves nothing. You're listening to the Game of the Week right here on your home for local sports 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley. Just this side is it 1 over.
I like it. So Cabrillo able to do twice in the first inning what they were unable to do in the 14 previous innings against the Braves, and that's a score run.
Yep.
You should note there is a softball going on to our left as well today. Lompoc and Cabrillo. I think it's the JV girls, however.
Neither team really impressing the rankers around so far. Coming in, Lompoc was 37th of the 64 teams in D4, and Cabrillo was 54th of the 63 teams in D5. So not really a whole lot of love given there.
Well, Lompoc started off the season pretty slow.
Yeah.
And have really come on of late.
There's 1 4 in a row. The record is 7-6. Winning 4 in a row is kind of a big deal.
Yep.
Ball 1. Ball 2.
It says Hernandez up. Smack this one into left. Should be playable. Back, and makes the catch. That's Gavin Towns out there in left field for the Conks today. Good job tracking that one down. So 1 out. And Sean Boa will step in for the Braves. Takes a strike. Hard hit was fouled on the first baseline. 2-0 is our score. Cabrillo after the early lead. You're in the top of the second. High foul ball, drifting over towards the fence and out of play, just out of reach.
Yes, that was right back up into the sun. And
Frosto trying to get over there to get a glove on it and couldn't quite get the strings on it.
Frosto came to greatest distance, and the other 2 guys who were in the area were going, yeah, you get it.
No balls and 2 strikes to Boa.
And that was
the
screen.
Just over into the fan area.
Just over the screen, right behind the Lompoc dugout. 3rd consecutive foul on the right side.
As usual, the wind blowing from our left to our right. Everything drifting towards the parking lot. That one fouled off by hands back into the lot.
Yeah, over into the Little League parking lot. Nothing else. He's certainly accumulating fouls.
Run out of baseballs here pretty soon. There's a ball on the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Boa. Little grounder over towards short. Backhand and bobbled. No throw.
It's kind of a nod, huh? But playable.
So Sean Moe at first on what I suspect you will probably be calling an error.
Yep.
Corbin Hayes now up for the Braves, number 15. Hayes, a right-handed junior for the Braves.
Good hit to the mound by the catcher. I believe that's
Garcia.
Garcia today. Number 12, one of the captains.
Hayes will foul this one out of play.
One of the areas of discussion online has been the baseball headsets changing of the rules concerning mound visits.
Oh.
And Major League, Minor League Baseball putting out a new thing, reducing the numbers of visits available to each team and defining the seven kinds of.
Bo's in a rundown in between first and second. As he got about halfway there, he's going to get tagged out. He got caught in no man's land out there. And the Braves base runner is erased. So 2 down now. Hayes takes a strike. Takes the count to 0-2.
Anyway, they have now defined 7 different things that constitute a mound visit.
Third strike comes loose, but Hayes will be tagged out, and that'll retire the Braves here in the second. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. So 1.5 complete here at McIntyre, and our score remains the Conquistadors 2, the Braves nothing. You are listening to the Game of the Week right here on your home for Local Sports 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley.
That's Mike. I'm Greg. Bill's back in the studio. Don't forget you can check us live. Streaming live at kpegradio.com for all your friends and family who are out of the local listening area. Getting highs from the press box here. It's like old homework around here today. That's when you know you've been doing this for a long time, right?
One of my occupations recently has been sending Greg info on how long it's been since albums that he really remembers really well.
Yes, Mike sent me a text this morning on an album that was released 40 years ago today. And thanks for making me feel old.
Not making you feel as old, Greg, is the fact that you are old. Just like the rest of us.
Then when I realized what album it was and realized that I had it on 8-track tape at the time, that's when I decided I wasn't going to read any more text for the rest of the day. Okay, baseball. This is Controla out to bat for the Conquistadors. He fouled off 1-9, takes a strike after a couple of balls. It's 2-2. Smacks this one over for second. That's going to find the gap and roll into center field for a single.
They have gone off the roadhouse.
This is a little unusual for Oscar. They're ripping him up a little bit here early. Chatted with him in the dugout before game time. He seemed comfortable and ready to go.
Austin Wolf.
Austin, a right-handed junior for the Conquistadors. Squares to punt. Takes a strike.
It's a tough one to deal with.
Looking to bunt again, drops it down nicely this time. Oscar will pick it up on the run. Make the play himself at first. To record out number 1. Gavin Towns will step into the batter's box now for the Conquistador with 1 out. And a runner at second. Throw to second is not in time.
Although it was close.
Everybody's getting dirty out there today.
Yeah.
Comes up empty at that one for a strike. That's a mighty hack at that one. For strike 2.
He hasn't really been close to either of those.
0-2 to Towns. Strike 3 gets loose.
Ball in the dirt.
Throw to first. They'll retire Towns.
Okay. The runner is held the runner at second first. And then move down to first.
Back to the top of the order for the Conquistadors. Anthony Lopez with 2 down and a runner at second. Looks at strike 1. Just inside, right along the belt. Strike 2.
You can't throw one better than that.
That's that was nice. 0-2 now to Lopez. Throw to second. Could have him. Oh, just barely got an arm underneath the tag.
That was the shortstop sneaking in behind him. And he was kind of watching the second baseman, and the second baseman didn't move.
That was close, but back in time. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ball again loose. Throw to first. We'll record the out and retire the side. What a loose strike 3s today.
Yeah.
But Conquistadors come up empty here in the second. No runs. They'll leave 1 stranded at second after 2 complete here at McIntyre Field. It's still Conquistadors 2, Braves nothing. You're listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports 100.9 KPEG.
Oh boy, so the Lompoc Valley.
It's Friday, right, Mike?
It's Friday.
Speaking of music and such, you know what Friday means? It's New Tracks Day at KPEG. Shortly after the game ends at 6 o'clock this evening, please stay with us and check out our program called New Tracks. Some guy named Greg brings you some of the newer music that's been put into the KPEG library recently, along with a brand new song that'll get its first KPEG airing here tonight at the end of the show. So it's a lot of fun. You get to hear some new music, and I'll tell you all about who it is and where they came from and all that stuff. So check it out. New Tracks tonight at 6 o'clock exclusively here at KPEG.
100.9.
It's quite an eclectic mix of music. Yes. Even more so than usual today.
Wow.
A little something for everyone today.
So what's the clues for the big finale tonight?
Well, most of you will not have heard it. Let's put it that way. We will go to the top of the third.
The Hato starts off taking the ball.
And then swings and misses for a strike. We should mention the Braves in their bright blue uniforms.
Yep. All blue with white pinstripes.
Yeah, they are very blue.
I should say not pinstripes, pinking.
They're extremely blue.
They are very blue.
And Coach Larry told me not to make fun of them, so I won't. But they are very blue.
Yeah, very quickly. second one.
Strike called. Auto enforcement got a strike zone, and now we're up to 3-2.
And Nick thought that was a ball.
He was ready to walk. Nope. Keep batting, young man.
Oh.
Full swing, little dribbler back to the mound. Quick throw to first, and records the out. So one away here in the third. Gunnar Thomas will step into the batter's box for the Braves, wearing number 8 today. There are a couple of jersey number changes in the new uniforms that we'll get to as they show up. Gunnar is not one of them. High fly, foul territory over towards the Cabrillo dugout. Could be playable in the sun.
Oh, goodness.
And caught.
That was an adventure.
Lopez ended up hitting that one from the third base position.
And he had to move about 10 feet over in the last half a second.
Good job to record the second out. Brings up Ryan Morgan. Just traditional number 5 today. Looks at the ball. Chopper foul over into the Cabrillo dugout.
Yeah. Managed to get the coach. Tried to field it and found out he don't bend over that far as much as he used to.
Glad to see I'm not the only one having that problem. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Morgan. The 2 out here in the top of the third.
Another trip by Patrick Garcia out to the mound.
Chopper over to third. Lopez has got it.
Nice throw.
Pulled him off the bag, however. The throw was just a little bit wide. Got there in time. But Brown had to leave the bag, tried to make the tag on the way by. But
Morgan was flying down the line. In case you were wondering, he hit that around.
So, runner at first with 2 down. Steven Espinoza up to bat. Now, he is one of the number changes. Wearing number 55 today.
The double nickel and throw over the first is Mountain Time.
One on, 2 out for the Braves. There goes Morgan. Throw to second. Looks like they got him. And they did. Beautiful throw.
Yeah. Can't do it any better than that.
Great throw by Garcia. Just picks off Ryan Morgan to second to retire the Braves here in the third. The runs for the Braves, nobody left. 2.5 innings complete. It's still Cabrillo 2, Lompoc nothing. And you're still listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports 100.9 KPEG.
100.9? The voice of the Lompoc Valley.
What else have we got going on? We could talk about the Lompoc Local Music Hour.
Indeed.
This being Friday, that makes tomorrow Saturday, and every Saturday night at 7 o'clock, we have another special program that we put on called the Local Music Hour. It's hosted by our good friend Casey Farah. He's well entrenched in the local music scene, being a local musician himself. And he has put together a show that showcases musical talent from the Lompoc Valley and around the Central Coast. And he'll introduce you to a bunch of those folks every Saturday night during the Local Music Hour. Check it out exclusively here at KPEG 100.9 FM.
I got another inning runner erased. Indeed.
Yeah.
2 so
far. 2 in a row.
2 out of 3. That's good.
Looking at the Channel League standings here real quick, Santa Barbara, the Dons on top of things at 7-2. Lompoc just back at 6-4. DP at 5-4. San Ynez at 4-5. San Marcos at 3-6 and Cabrillo at 3-7 will round it out. Cabrillo trying to help that a little bit today.
Yep.
Oscar back on the mound for the Braves, throws strike one.
Coming into this game, Cabrillo has 3 wins. 2 of those were over San Marcos, and 1 was a forfeit win versus Santa Barbara. So
Frausto clears this one over to left field for route number 1.
So if Cabrillo could hold on to this one, that would be huge.
Any specifics on the forfeit? What the cause of that was?
No specific. Santa Barbara stick sports haven't been terribly good recently for the last few years, so could be all kinds of things.
Substitution for the Braves. Dylan Bailey comes in for Corbin Hayes. At first base. Up to bat for the Conquistadors is Patrick Garcia. Takes a strike and fouls this one off. And that one takes a strange bounce off the turf and
right past Bailey.
Bailey can't get a glove on it. And that'll put Garcia at first base. One out, one on. And pitcher Matthew Gonzalez up to bat. Takes a strike. Check swing to the appeal to second base says he went around. No balls, 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Got out in front of that one for strike 3, and Gonzalez goes down swinging for route number 2. Mason Towns now at the bat.
First strikeout for Oscar today.
Throws high at Towns for ball 1. See if we can get you some batting averages for these Conquistador hitters. Boom. Throwing things at us again, Mike.
I noticed.
That one was outside for a ball. Gus missed with that one in the outside corner. Two balls on the strike to Towns. Make that 3-1.
No real sign of run on the first one anyway.
High fly ball, shallow right field. Now drifting back, drifting right, and makes the play. And that will retire the side and end the inning. No runs for the Conquistadors. They'll leave one stranded. 3 complete here at McIntyre Field. Our score remains the Conquistadors 2, the Braves nothing. You're listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of Lompoc Valley.
That's Mike. I'm Greg. Bill's back to the studio. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
And very quickly, right?
Yeah, this is moving along, isn't it?
Not a whole lot of successful action on the bases.
We should note that next week is tournament week around the Lompoc Valley, so we will not be having any broadcasts next week during the tournament.
Braves are slated to play three pretty tough teams. Well,
Mike looks that up. I'll let you know that our next broadcast will be on April 9th. We're right back here at McIntyre when the San Ynez Pirates will come to town to take on the Cabrillo Conquistadors baseball squad. Start time scheduled at 4 o'clock, I believe.
The Braves playing Northview Canyon and then Yerington, Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not traveling to that.
Yeah.
Espinosa up to start things off in the fourth. Ooh, first pitch swinging and drills this from into center field.
Over the head of the center fielder and to the wall, and he's going to walk into center.
And he's going to run into third.
Yeah. And it's going to be not close.
Sliding in safe is Steven Espinosa on a leadoff triple here in the fourth inning for the Braves.
Yeah.
And that was a well-hit ball. Caleb Ramirez now up to bat for the Conquistadors, wearing 14 today as opposed to his usual 10. Anything to keep us guessing?
Got to keep you off balance.
It's not hard to do. So nobody out, a runner at third for the Braves. Ramirez lets the ball on low. 2-0 is our score. Conks lead.
And that's
Where's this one?
One run in.
Flare to right. Espinosa takes off from third, slides in safely to home.
No throw for
the cut off. So the Braves are on the board here in the fourth, courtesy of a triple by Steven Espinosa and a sac fly by Caleb Ramirez. So it's 2-1. Brings us to Oscar Rojas, number 24. There's pitcher. Takes strike one on the outside corner.
You were talking about not wanting to go to Nevada. The most interesting
chopper to first, the foot race to the bag, and looks like Cabrillo won that race.
The most interesting road trip of the year is one that Cabrillo is taking. Is going to Missouri for 3 games, courtesy of Danny Duffy.
Missouri. Yeah. Grounder over to second, throw to first. Boom, and just like that, the Braves are done. But they come up with one here in the fourth inning. One run on one hit, no errors. Nobody left, so after 3.5 here at McIntyre Field, our score has changed. It's now the Conquistadors 2, the Braves 1.
And you'll be shocked, Greg, to learn that the 3 games are basically starting in Kansas City and heading south from there.
That'll be a fun trip for him, I'm sure.
Yep. The other interesting Channel League out-of-state contest that occurred just here recently was Santa Barbara is playing Eagle, Idaho.
Wow.
And you'll never guess what the Eagles mascot is, or what Eagles mascot is.
It's not a conquistador, is it?
No, it's the Mustangs.
Mustangs.
The Eagle, Idaho Mustangs. So,
okay.
I think somebody kind of did not get the memo on that one.
Mm-hmm. And you got a bird in your name, I see. Yeah. Okay.
I guess they didn't like alliteration.
Well, the most recent or current trip the Cabrillo Conquistadors are going to take is sending Hunter Barthel to the batter's box to start the bottom of the fourth inning.
It was not a long trip for him.
It was a short walk. Cox lead has been cut in half. It's now 2-1. And we'll see what Barthel comes with.
Well, I'm not sure anybody could have done anything with that pitch. It swerved at the last second and just caught the edge of the plate. It was a thing of beauty.
And a quick ball after that, evens the count of 1-1. Foul out of play.
And Oscar working pretty fast again.
Yep, he's got the pace up. Ooh, got him on some high eye candy for strike 3.
Did get just a piece of it, but not enough to get it above the shoulder.
Barthel goes down for out number 1, and it brings us up to Vicente Controla, the DH for today.
Takes a mighty hack at one and did not get a piece of it. And was quickly 0-2.
Watches the second one go by. Yep, 2 strikes. That's a dip low to get out of the way of that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Controla. Swung on and missed. And Controla quickly down for out number 2.
Oscar is starting to settle on a bit. Right? And that's not a good thing for offensive players that are facing him.
Austin Wolf now up to bat for the Cox.
Looks at one outside, 1-1.
That one, he just missed it a little high, ball 2.
That one had a little bit of oomph on it and was right down the middle.
You hear that one pop into the glove.
Snagged very well by Ramirez behind the plate. On ball 3.
3-1. Called strike on the outside portion. Takes us to full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It happened for you again, right?
Yep.
Maybe they were trying to get low that time.
Fouled off. Count 3-2. Brought in. And Austin Wolf will walk to first base. So a 2-out walk by Rojas brings up number 8. Gavin Towns, the younger Towns, on the Cabrillo roster. Looks at ball 1.
As far as one of those, Rojas has not gone a 1, 2, 3 inning yet.
We have gotten a little spoiled from Oscar, I think, this season. Mighty hack at that one for a strike.
I'm sure the gust of wind was coincidental because it sure felt like that was coming from the bat.
1-1 pitch, runner going. Looper back over to Oscar. He'll step to his right, just enough to put a glove on that one and end the inning. No runs, no hits. One walk leaves one on. So after 4 complete innings here at McIntyre Field, our score remains the Conquistadors 2, the Braves 1. You are listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley.
Something else we need to tell you about coming up on April 4th. It's just around the corner. Next week, as a matter of fact. The Lompoc Valley Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau will be hosting the annual State of the City Luncheon over at the Dick DeWeese Community and Senior Center. Presentations will be by Mayor Janelle Osborne and City Manager Jim Throop about the state of the city of your wonderful Lompoc Valley. If you'd like to attend that, give the Chamber a call at 736-4567 to get your lunch ticket. If you can't make that, stay tuned to TAP TV Channel 23. Our television crew will be there to record the event and will be posted on the city website as well for viewing on demand, probably the first of the week after that. So, State of the City on the 4th. Be there if you can.
Move up at the plate.
Inside corner, strike one.
Patrick Garcia has adjusted from where he's going down on the knee to set up the target. Mula is built rather low to the ground.
Yeah, Mula flares this one out to center field for route number 1. Dylan Bailey up now.
Left-hander. Left batter. Ooh, nice curve.
Strike one to Dylan Bailey. He's one of the freshmen on this Braves team.
Ooh, just good. Big count on the outside corner.
So Bailey quickly in an 0-2 hole.
Ooh. Man, he took a mighty hack at that one. That was
low and away and couldn't reach it. So
going away, and he pulled the chain on that thing. So Bailey had time to take a second shot at it, and then it actually came by, I think.
So quickly 2 out for the Braves. They take us to a Hato. From freshman before him to the senior at bat now.
Yeah, he fouls off the first one.
And watches the second one. So a Hato to down 0-2. Chops this one foul. Gonzalez on the bat for the Conquistadors, been doing a real solid job so far. Gave up that 1 triple to Espinosa. Other than that, he's been right on. This one will get hit over towards second. Throw to first. Again, the throw wide. And Brown is pulled off the bag at first.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Yeah, Alex Brown is a big young man at 6'4". He's got a pretty good reach on him. But that one was wide left.
Another error.
And Laredo was safe at first on the error. Gonzalez keeping him honest. Quick throw over there. And up to bat,
Mr. Thomas.
Indeed, as in Gunner. Thomas looks for the strike. So foul back towards the screen.
Foul fouled off the dirt just in front of the plate. Took a hop over everybody in the around home plate and came straight at us.
Right, we got to say hi to Mr. Garcia. So 2 strikes, Thomas. With a quick throw to first, no avail.
That was just kind of I keep them awake.
High fly ball, center field. Should be playable.
Looking back into the sun, so it isn't easy. But,
got it.
I'll track it down.
So that will record the 3rd out for the Braves here in the 4th inning. 5th inning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Going too fast. Braves come up empty, and it's still 2-1 Conquistadors after 4.5. This one's moving right along, right?
It is.
We better take a moment before we run out of time and remind everybody about the interactive budget tool that you can find on the City of Lompoc website. If you're interested in how the budget works and where the numbers come from and how they fit in the puzzle, you can go to cityoflompoc.com, click on the budget tool, and it'll walk you through the process of actually letting you balance the budget the way you think it ought to be done. Allocating X number of dollars to this program or that, and this department or that. It's a very, very cool tool and very, very handy. Hope you take advantage of it. Because the budget is being discussed as we speak.
You mentioned that 2 of the 3 real wins were against San Marcos. They won 4-0 back on the 22nd of February. Everything lost on the 12th of March, 18-2, and then they beat San Marcos on the 15th, 3-2. So.
Anthony Lopez up to bat for the Cox to start things off in the bottom of the 5th. He's looking at a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Rojas still working with a lot of pace there from the mound. That's in there for a strike. Evens a count of 2 apiece. Top of the foul. Rojas really wasting no time out there at all. He normally works pretty fast, but today seems even a little faster than usual.
Yeah.
Another foul.
He's looking like he's got a date tonight.
We played a spaghetti waiting for him, and we're going to chopper over toward a 3rd foul. Well, we mentioned over the course of the season, every time we've seen Oscar, that he is pretty calm, cool, and collected out there. Seems to be pretty much in control right now. However, this one's well hit into left. Oh, that was a beautiful play out there in left field.
That's running catch.
Gunnar Thomas out there was running to his left and backwards and makes the play for the out.
Yeah, running. Eventually got turned around, so he was facing the fence and running and looking back over his shoulder into the sun. That was a heck of a play.
That, along with the wind, that was really well done for out number 1.
Yeah. Strauss drills one down the 3rd base line, foul.
This one gets away and back to the wall. You can probably hear those hit as well as we can because it's right in front of our feet.
It's about 18 inches to my right.
And there for a strike. Should be 1 and 2 now to Frausto. Make that strike 3 call and 2 away. Patrick Garcia up to bat now for the Conquistadors. Garcia hitting 300 for the Conks coming into the day. Check swing, appeal the first, says he went around, where we got 2 strikes on count. And Garcia. 1, 2, 3 strikes, and Garcia is gone, and so are the Conquistadors here in the 5th.
And after not having very many strikeouts, he put up 2 in that inning.
1, 2, 3 inning for the Conquistadors here at the end of the 5th inning. And after 5 complete, it's still the Conquistadors 2, the Braves 1. You're listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley.
To continue on my thought with the budget, there is going to be, of course, there's 2 regular council meetings scheduled here coming up in April, but on the 17th of April, it's a Wednesday, there will be a special council meeting dedicated to budget talks and discussions. If you're interested in that and want to attend at the City Council Chambers at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 17th of April. Either if you can, or check it out live at TAP TV Channel 23, right here on KPEG Radio, 100.9 FM, or
the YouTube channel.
Or streaming live at kpegradio.com. We call it a trimulcast.
Trimulcast. So painful.
Only when it doesn't work. Okay, so
you get to pull out the baling wire and the duct tape.
The bubble gum. We will go to the top of the 6th inning. Ryan Morgan will start things off for Lompoc.
I guess he wants someone to start things off. He's a real good one. Takes one high,
Morgan batting in the 9th spot today.
Nice bender for a called strike.
1-1 out of Morgan. Smacks this one over toward short. And through the glove and into left field. And Morgan's on the but will have to be scored as an error.
4th one for career.
And I think you mentioned something about that at the beginning of the game, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, they had
propensity for errors.
They had 4 in the first contest between these 2, and 3 in the second. So,
and 4 so far today.
And we're going to have a conference period.
There's a whole group of Conquistadors out on the mound, including Coach Osborne.
And guys, you don't want on base from the Lompoc team. Ryan Morgan is probably pretty close to the top of the list.
He's one of them. He can motor, too. I mentioned it before, but Ryan Morgan is an athlete, no matter what sport he's playing.
Yeah. No matter which of the 4, he's earning a letter in there. Teaching his academic years. Football, baseball, basketball, and track and field education.
So we will go to the top of the order. Stephen Espinoza comes up with nobody out and the runner at first.
Took, I think it was second at the Eastern Relays downtown, remember, in the triple jump.
No.
If you can triple jump, you're an athlete.
Yes. A couple of throws to first to keep Morgan honest. Kept him honest and got him dirty all at the same time.
Ooh.
Pitch to Espinoza, foul out of play.
Yeah, definitely got some height on that one, but it's directional vector was a little bit off.
Now remember the last time Espinosa had a back, he hit a triple to center.
Fresh quick lines of repetition.
That was the first and only Braves run of the day. Another throw to first. Count of the plate is 0-1.
Morgan taking a pretty good lead off
first. Espinosa is inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, nobody out for the Braves here in the top of the 6th in a 1-run ball game. The Cabrillo lead is 2-1.
So far,
throw to first, now comes loose. Morgan will get back up and head into second, standing up.
No throw.
Another error?
Yep.
It's 5 on the day for the Cox. And Morgan advances to second. Count still 1-1 to Espinosa.
We've got choices then he throws to first. Espinosa been up there. Espinosa has like that.
One outside with that one for ball 2. Tying run at second for the Braves here in the 6th.
We're debating just a bit.
Tougher foul off the plate.
With all the high-powered stuff we've seen going on, that one was a flubber off to the third base side. You've got maybe a foot past the skin portion around home plate.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Espinosa. Ooh, smacked. Pass short.
That's a solid single.
Morgan turns the corner. He gets waved in.
The throw missed the cutoff, man. And
Ryan Morgan scores a tying run from second, with Espinosa standing at second with an RBI double. So, Steven Espinosa having a pretty good day at the bat. Triple and a double.
That was a solid shot, ground ball that was under the cover, but I think shortstop.
You bet.
No shot at it.
We are tied up at 2 here in the 6th. Caleb Ramirez up to bat now. Had to duck out of the way of that first pitch. The ball 1. Espinosa's over at second. He represents the go-ahead run. Foul out of play by Ramirez. One ball, 1 strike. Chopper over to third. Block there, throw to first. In time to record the out. Espinosa advances to third on the play.
Well, that was a self-defense play at third there.
That was sharply hit.
And throw over to first was a little iffy, but
good enough to record out number 1. But the Braves have a runner in Espinosa at third. And pitcher Oscar Rojas up to bat. 2-2 ball game now, tied up here in the 6th. Rojas fouls off the first one. There's strike 1. Braves staff's coming alive a little bit here. 1-1 to Rojas. Inside corner is direct 2 call.
Wynn picking back up.
1-2 pitch from Gonzalez. Shot foul, just fouled on the first baseline. Espinosa was halfway home before he had to turn around and go back to third.
That was raising chalk on the runner's lane.
Yep. Little hit off the hands. Right in front of home plate to throw to first.
Yep. The throw to first pulled him off the bag.
And in the meantime, Espinosa scores from third. And all of a sudden, it's 3-2 Braves with Rojas safe at first and one out. And we'll get a substitute runner in for Rojas. That will be Derek Argel.
And that was, I think you have to say, it was another error on the throw.
So the sixth error of the day for the Conquistadors. And the Braves have taken the lead 3-2. As we said, Rojas will take a seat. Martel will come in to run, and Hernandez will come to bat. Throw to first, not in time. So quite the turn of events here in the sixth inning. The Braves have taken the lead 3-2, and not done yet.
We mentioned that you didn't want Brian Morgan on the base paths.
Proved to be prophetic. Runner going.
Pitch was way outside.
Throw to third. Second, got him. Margell couldn't get under the tag.
Yeah, that was almost a pitch out.
And another great throw by Garcia from behind the plate. So 2 out, and the base paths are clear now. Called strike to Hernandez. One, 2 pitch. High fly ball behind the plate. Garcia is there, makes the play to record the out and retire the side.
That ball was fouled up to the left side, and when he caught it, he had to take 2 quick steps and caught it in the right side batter's box.
Didn't travel very far, except straight up.
Well, if you got up into the wind and got blown over, that ended up having a long voyage and a short distance.
But the Braves come up with 2 here in the sixth, with a little help from, I think, 3 Conquistador errors. So after 5.5 here at McIntyre Field, our score has changed. It's the Braves 3, the Conquistadors 2. You're listening to the Game of the Week on your home for Local Sports 100.9 KPEG.
The voice of the Lompoc Valley. Yeah, that was 3 errors in that game.
So as we mentioned, the tournament coming up, the Central Coast Tourney, coming up here this next week. The next Channel League game that the Braves will play is against Santa Barbara on the 9th. So they'll play them back-to-back games on the 9th and the 12th, and they'll finish off the regular season with 2 games against Dos Pueblos on the 23rd and the 25th.
But that's 2 against Santa Barbara. Could very well be for a Channel League championship.
Indeed, got Santa Barbara just 1 game in front of the Braves in the standings as we speak.
First pitch is long. Second one is fouled off to the left side.
This is Matthew Gonzalez up to bat for the Conks in the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt's hitting .229 on the year.
And that one fouled off down to the plate.
Goes fishing for that one. Comes up empty. So right 3, and Gonzalez goes down for route number 1. Mason Towns will come up to bat now for the Conquistadors.
Strikeout number 4 for Oscar.
Orlov just misses with that one for ball 1. It's been a little low. Deja vu. 2 balls, no strikes to Towns. There's one in there for a strike. 2-1 the count.
And again, hits the replay button on that.
Even us up at 2 apiece.
Could call that deja vu. Strikeout number 5.
Another appeal to the first base umpire. And Towns goes down for out number 2. Brings us to Hunter Barfell.
Fire was a strike.
Hunter, right-handed sophomore. Looks a little high and away for ball 1. 1-1 to Barfell. Just low with that one for a ball.
Close.
Inside for ball 3.
And Oscar is just a little bit off today.
High chopper could be a problem.
Good.
Nice effort, but that was just in one of those tweeners that nobody could get to in time.
Third baseman ended up flat on his face, having to pick it up and threw to first. It got away. Very good backup by Caleb Ramirez, getting down to back up the first baseman. That was just trouble all over. Control has to play.
We'll call that a hit, Mike?
Yeah, I don't really see anybody that had a good play on that.
Strike on the outside corner to control him.
If the ball had been thrown away and not retrieved quickly, he had gone to second, I think we would have to say it. That's a punt.
Conchola got, indeed, punt on the back. You don't see that from Oscar very often.
He knew. And that was on the back of the head.
Yeah.
He was trying to get away from it. Well, hopefully he's okay.
He's going to stay in to run, so that's a good sign. So with 2 outs, we've got 2 on here for the Conks in the bottom of the 6th. And Austin Wolf will step up. Looks like we might have a runner coming on the Conquistadors.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Control, I think, was willing to stay out there, and the coaches went, I don't think so.
Blake Beecher will come in to run to Cantrolla. Austin Wolf in the batter's box. Batting .235 on the year. Throws the bunt, drops it right out in front of the plate. Ramirez has got it, throws it first.
That was a really good bunt.
Well placed, but an even better job by Caleb to track it down. Steps to his left, makes the throw, and retires the side. So no runs for the Conquistadors here in the 6th. They'll leave a couple stranded. We've done 6 complete here at McIntyre Field, and our score is the Braves 3 and the Conquistadors 2. You're listening to the game of the week on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG.
The boys have a little bit down.
We talked about the Braves' remaining schedule. Do the same for the Conquistadors. They got a whole slew of tournament games here.
Yeah, they're also in the Central Coast tournament, I believe.
Now, they've got a couple against San Ynez on the 9th and the 12th. Then they're going to take the road trip to Missouri that Mike mentioned. Then they'll come back and finish off the season with 2 games at Santa Barbara in late April. That'll round things out for the Conquistadors. And with their position in the standings, they're going to have to pretty much win out and get some help if they want to find themselves in the postseason and playing in May.
We'll have to wait to call the strike.
Outside corner for strike 2 call. Shot this one foul.
Yeah, about halfway to the Cabrillo dugout.
So Sean Noah looking at an 0-2. Pitch from Gonzalez is wide and low for a ball.
Very good job by Garcia snagging that one.
High fly ball over towards first into shallow right field. And there will be up number 1 as Martell gets under that one.
Yeah. Once again, we had 3 guys circling under it going, you see it? Martell final.
I got 12 for 15. 12 for 15.
12 in for 15.
Which means Bradley Waite will come in. Bradley Waite, number 12, a sophomore for the Lompoc Braves, right-handed batter. In for Corbin Hayes. Takes one high and a bit inside for ball 1. Gonzalez comes back blowing away for ball 2. Trying to swing at that one, just tipped it into the glove. Strike. 2-1 to Waite. Around it over towards second. Pass Gonzalez on the mound. Throw to first. In time. To the board up number 2.
Gonzalez had a chance to get his uniform jersey, diving around the mound at that one.
Nick Ahito now stepping in for the Braves. Left-handed batter for Lompoc with 2 outs here in the 7th. Ball 1 to Ahito. Smacks it over past first and into right field for a 2-out single.
Another one that beats the dive.
Mm-hmm. So the Braves have a runner on with 2 outs. And Bridger Coleman will step into the batter's box, coming in for Gunnar Connell.
Get some extra guys a little bit of playing time today.
Needless to say, so far we have names with all the numbers. Sometimes we're not so fortunate. Throw to first, not in time. Smacks this one over to third. Throw across the field. Records out number 3 and retires the Braves here in the 7th. No runs for the Braves on one hit. No errors. One left. 6.5 complete. Here at McIntyre, our score remains the Braves 3 and the Conquistadors 2. You're listening to the Game of the Week on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG. That's Mike. I'm Greg. Bill's back in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you tuning in for local high school baseball. And we will go to the bottom of the 7th. Cabrillo down to their final 3 outs. They need to score a run to keep this game going.
And both the players.
Both the substitutors will stay in the game defensively for the Braves.
Well, the guys that substituted for them are reiterating.
Okay.
So they can,
back where we started, in other words.
Indeed. Although for the Braves back at first, Thomas is back in left field. Oscar trying to wake us up, throwing balls at us again.
Oscar looking for another complete game victory, 3 outs away. Is Rojas on the Braves. In his way is Gavin Towns with the Conquistadors, who will start things off for the Conks here in the 7th.
They have a chance of a very rare bubble in high school baseball these days. And that's pitchers from opposing teams going the distance.
First pitch swinging, ground hits it over towards short. Gonna be a long throw. Just in time.
That was close. That was a ball that was gunned over there.
Towns was motoring.
By Espinoza. And Espinoza just rifled that thing over.
So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Conks in the 7th. They'll go to the top of the order with Anthony Lopez, and he'll take strike 1. Inside. They'll tie for a ball. 1-1 now to Lopez. High chopper to third. One hands it. Hands it to first. Up him off the bag, they said. The throw got there. Looked like in time. But Hayes pulled off the bag. And Anthony Lopez safe at first with 1 out for the Conks here in the 7th. Fly ball right in front of the plate. Caleb Ramirez will go out there and snag that one for shootout. And with a runner at first and 2 down, Patrick Garcia will step up for the Conquistadors to see if he can keep the game going. Tying run at first, and he's on the way. Well hit in the center field. This one could score one. He's going to get held up at third. Woo-hoo. Nice relay throw in.
Morgan threw it into Espinoza, who was just waiting for somebody to try and get to home. So after that throw, the security shot the wall.
Yeah, we might want to hold up.
Just wait there.
But a well-hit ball. Puts runners at first and third for the Conks with 2 out. And guess who's up, Mike?
Yep.
Pitcher Matthew Gonzalez with a chance to
help himself finally.
Tying run at third, winning run at first.
And they're going to walk him.
And they're going to give Matthew Gonzalez an intentional walk to load him up. Fourth play of any bag now.
Yeah.
And that'll bring up Mason Towns. Maybe. Which we have a pitch hitter.
Butch Osborne, that's it. Oh, they're going to pitch run at second base.
Ethan Malta will go out to run at second. And Mason Towns will stay in the batter's box for the Conquistadors. With a chance to be a hero. Mighty swings to right line. Bases full in a one-run ball game. It's 3-2 Braves in the bottom of the seventh. High heat, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes to Towns. Oscar moving right along here. Grounder over to first. And that'll do it. Hayes right there to gobble it up and step on the back to retire the side and retire the Conks here in the seventh.
Yeah. Well,
That was a thriller for sure.
Cabrillo's going to remember this one for a while.
You're going to have the what ifs if you didn't hold him up at third, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But what a game we had.
Well, the errors.
I think the errors kind of hurt the Conks here this afternoon. But the Braves found their bats late. Cabrillo tried to rally here in the bottom of the seventh. He loaded up the bases, but it's going to come up just a little bit short. The Braves will take this one 3-2 is our final score. It's about 5:30. That means we're 30 minutes or so away from New Tracks. I hope you'll stay with us for that one. Don't forget, starting at 6 o'clock. Once again, our next broadcast will be on April 9th, right back here at McIntyre Field, when the San Ynez Pirates come to town to take on Cabrillo baseball.
And, as I say, waiting around for New Tracks, it's not like you're going to be listening to bad music.
Yeah, we'll have a few things for you to listen to in the meantime, but we hope you can stay for it as well. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for McIntyre Field today. For Bill Smith back at the studio and Mike Loney to my right, my name is Greg Ratcliffe. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you tuning in, and we hope we can catch you on the night as well. Our final score, once again, from McIntyre is the Lompoc Braves 3, Cabrillo Conquistadors 2.
Player of the game?
Your call.
Let's give it to Ryan.
I would kind of lean toward Espinosa for his double and his triple. But,
yeah, well, Ryan kind of manufactured a run. Put him up.
Either way, a good team win for the Braves. Tough loss for the Conks. The Braves are now going to move to 7-4 in the league. Cabrillo drops to 3-8 and will return to league play in a week or so. So right now, we'll turn you back to the greatest music on the planet at 100.9 KPEG. Good night, everybody.